Very well, welcome to the class, students. Let's discuss the important topics of management. The first topic of management for the day is Mayo and Lombard classification of the informal groups. What are the differences of the classification of informal groups according to the well-known neuroscientists Mayo and Lombard? They define the groups into the following groups. Categories. The first category is natural groups. What is a natural group? It reveals no too little internal structure. Then we have family groups. These possess a core of regulars who exerts marked influence on the behavior of the other members. Then you have organized groups. These possess acknowledged leaders who themselves dedicatedly with intelligence and skill attain group integrity. Then you have Sale's classification of informal groups into four categories. According to Sale, there are four kinds of groups. The first group is apathetic group. What is an apathetic group? These groups possess consistently indifferent attitudes toward informal groups and are characterized by dispersed, lack of cohesiveness, internal discontinuity, and conflict. Then you have erratic groups. What are erratic groups? These groups fluctuate between antagonism and cooperation marked by the poorly controlled pressures, tactics, behaviors, inconsistency, quick conversation to the good relations with management, centralized and union formation activities. Then we have strategic groups. There is a consistent antagonism, continuous pressures, high degree of internal unite, and usually good production record in the long run. Then you have conservative groups. These groups are marked by the usual cooperation, limited pressure for highly specific objectives, modern internal unity, and self-assurance. Further, the classification that is strategic groups, there is consistent antagonism, continuous pressure, high degree of internal unite, and usually good production record in the long run. Then your conservative groups, these groups are marked by the usual cooperation, limited pressure for highly specific objectives, moderate internal unity, and self-assurance. Then you have Dalton's analysis classifies informal groups as the following titles. First is horizontal groups. These are associations of the worker, managers, or any other members of equal ranks engaged in performing more or less similar works. Then you have vertical groups. These are composed of members from varied levels within a particular department. Example, workers, foremen, and managers. Then you have mixed groups. The first two groups composed of members of varied ranks, department, and physical location. Let's move into the different types of conflict. There are basically following types. First is relationship conflict. What is a relationship conflict? Interpersonal tensions among individuals that have to do with the relationship, not task in hand. Task relationship, task conflict, disagreements about the nature of the work to be done. Then you have process conflict, disagreements about how work should be done, organized and accomplished. Then you have the different strategies of dealing with conflict. These are the following most important strategies of organization behavior to deal with conflict. Very probable chance to come in exam for the December. Avoiding a conflict management style characterized by low assertiveness of one's own interests and low cooperation with the other party. Then you have accommodating technique, a conflict management style in which one cooperates with the other party. There is cooperation while not asserting one's own interest. You should not follow your own interest. You should cooperate with the other party. Then you have competing, a conflict management style that maximizes assertiveness and minimizes cooperation. Here the assertiveness is maximizes. Then you have compromise, a conflict management style that combines intermediate levels of assertiveness and cooperation. That is, it's a similar kind of competing but a little difference. The difference is we have intermediate level of assertiveness and cooperation. The final technique is collaboration. What happens in collaboration? A conflict management style that maximizes both assertiveness and cooperation. That is, the assertiveness and cooperation level are the max in collaboration. Then you have distributed negotiation tactics. The first technique is threat. What is threat? Threat consists of implying that one will punish the party if he or she does not concede to your position. The firmness versus concessions. Distinguishing your target, offer a few concessions, and waiting for the other party to give in. Then you have persuasion, verbal persuasion or debate in common negotiations, technical merits, and fairness of the opponent's position. I hope you like the lecture. If you like the lecture, do subscribe to the channel with the bell icon. We'll meet in next class.